I'm not one of those beltway pansies. I could break the president in two with my bare hands!
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
In a world full of robots, cyborgs, ninja roaming around the land, one man stands alone with a really big sword. It's like if someone took a blender and mixed up the Terminator, Rambo and a samurai movie. Welcome to Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Hopefully it doesn't make sense, because it wasn't even in the dictionary. The game where the only thing more metal than the soundtrack is the hero's shiny metallic abs. Get ready to slice, dice, splatter your enemies across the battlefield, all while wondering why the boss keep telling you about memes.
We begin our journey by being seated in front of the offspring of Obama and a Neanderthal. That being the Prime Minister of the States. Honestly, the monkey leaving civilization myth doesn't seem so far-fetched anymore. He gets stalked by RGB to the sword and a man who feels as straight as the hair on a frat boy's head. Frat boy busts the man, our fake taxi gets stuck, Raiden goes full weed, and I find myself playing with the sword more enjoyable than my own. Circumcised a man found a way through the wall that Trump made, face to face with a giant vibrator. Every feet worshipper is having an enlightenment right now. I know you disgusting frogs get aroused by the metallic toes. Stripping the vibrator of its dignity and metal plates, I pull Sekiro onto this motherfucker, running after the bald man who just took a head from another, and this guy loves getting head. Leaving behind what's left of the vibrator, I do the only sensible thing of playing with it a little longer, before running back to headlover_069 and found him up too close with the president. Frat boy wants a taste of my sword, so doing the rational thing, we start comparing techniques. Hitting our release together, I somehow ended up with less of my wanking arm than before. So the frat boy leaves me hanging and needy like every romantic partner I've ever had, and Boris had a hard time going for round 2, after gleefully copying the big daddy.
Kept you waiting, huh? Kept you waiting, huh?
In the next chapter, we start by discussing about our favorite lollies transitioning into every gay man's fantasy. Then I came across some stalker whom I gladly converted into cyborg shawarma. After 10 seconds of foreshadowing, I go along the route. On my way, I saved a guy who shat his pants twice in a matter of seconds. Damn, Johnny has competition now. Then I found my old computer that I threw out some time ago and then some slicing. Further then, found an AI who talks like ChatGPT, got this personality from a BuzzFeed quiz.
Disobey a direct order, my memory would be wiped. I must destroy you.
What good is an intellect if you can't use it?
Your taunting is pointless. Exterminate!
As always, flawless victory, first try, cause I'm a chat gamer like that. Then it shit itself in the end for some reason though. Turning on the London Bridge, I start fighting with a second-hand food processor, or like they called it back then. Doctor, if you didn't know, by the way, is a Russian homosexual who has a thing for left hands, so he gives us a side quest to collect some of them unmoisturized calluses-filled arms, and he'll give us a special gift. Then we meet the third type of enemy, condom correct foodsellers, which sounds just as appetizing as a fancy restaurant dish. Then I saw Joel Zayev trying to show Mr. All his strong gun. She wasn't impressed though. And finna be honest, shotty signals, man. But I'm a hot chat and I dodged them flying kisses like bullets. Now answering the booty call of the century, she said her hand game is strong, and man, she wasn't lying. She's like Kama Sutra goddess. She kept tossing the melons around on me, you know what I'm saying? I just couldn't keep calm and poured all my load on her and finished her with my big vibrating sword. Entering El Mexico with the most culturally appropriate outfit and scaring some civilians shitless. I got to wear European opinions I kept, and a random blow of jaws just came on me. Couldn't stand my sharp vibrating sword though. Then I met a kid who forced me into my first 3-on-1. I just did what I do best and became a caffeine-induced high-frequency blender.
Get it? Then told me to save the other kids from the Peter Doctor. Not that one. This one. Another high-intense round of combat later, I found all the brains watching YouTube shorts on repeat, and like any entitled child, they asked me if I had games on my phone. I noped the fuck out of there. Then I played a new game with that bilingual chick's melons. Then a new robot just tried to rough handle me like a Tommy Mommy. I'm not saying I liked it, but I'll give it another try. Maybe on harder difficulty. Then the Peter Doctor himself came out and got my boy Georgie. Ripping that man in half, I also slashed Georgie's arm, making one doctor sad and another happy in the process. In the next chapter, not being happy with the current company I worked for as the Gen Z I am, I left and decided to go full solo and self-made, which in reality means leeching off of everyone around me and being a menace to public safety. Like any other white-collar worker, I went up and above the company building seeking my goals and ended up in a corporate crossfires, parkouring over the buildings looking as if I had a nuclear enema, then go down the alley of early London. After which our favorite frat boy returns and have a monologue about violence and some shit that somehow edges Ryan's hormones to have period cramps for the next 5 minutes. Come along to see the wet glizzy called Monsuna who thought that talking about memes in front of someone with cramps and a dick is a good idea. As turns out, it's not. The mood swings had caught up with Ryden, then turned into the embodiment of 1800s London's deadly killer.
I think it's time for Jack to let her rip.
trying to penetrate me against my will, I did the best and the most reasonable thing and ran my sword out all across his body and finished on his face. Going through the company building, the game decided to have a seizure and couldn't decide if it was action or a tower defense game. And the stealth in this game is just as useful as a paraplegic in a cycle race after a casual stroll up the building. We ended up inside the natural habitat of a weeb, which leads to a room with a sexy stripper with hands to give, aka our shorty Mistral, who's ready for round 2 but forgot. I don't need stamina in the cyborg body. Then, the wet greedy Monsuno was looking for some threesome. I carefully denied by chopping everything on his body, including his pee-pee, which opens up another room of metallic Twitter user-filled brains. The headlover_069, who like every controversial YouTuber said some weird shit and disappeared in the shadow. Who, when I chop off, tell me about the bomb that is going to launch from Pakistan. Nonetheless, I hitch a ride from Doctor, a ram lover who kicks me out like a hooter on his ride. Which leads to the most unnecessary mission in this whole damn game. Just before the best part. A duel with the frat boy Jetstream Sam. Now when I say this fight is going to blow your tits off, I mean it. The duel between a ninja and a samurai. The music, the mood, the feels of this fight gets me higher than when your mom gives me the Gok Gok 3K. Also, winning makes me feel like an alpha without any disrespect. We move on. Psych! That bitch can't even see straight after I was done with her daddy little sword. Who's your daddy now, bitch? Your face so ugly, even your mama don't love you no more. And now you know not to dance in a sword fight. Moving on from the season end roasted frat boy. We get to Sunny, who probably needs to check who she is hiring, because I'm sure the break room is also known as the Lolly Club or Big Titty God Girlfriends. Soon after a few airlift violations, we arrive at the final battle, where I realize I should have brought a bigger sword. Still, not being nominated or being harassed, I borrow one from the BBW and start pegging it for a while. After which our little man comes out, who is killed Well, looks like nanomachines are still relevant, so after getting pummeled by a certain century senator, you actually find out how we actually got here.
I could break the president in two with my bare hands.
Now, after catching Mr. Wanker in 4K while kicking my dog, no one hurts something that belongs to me, Armstrong Nano McGee, he's gonna get their ass kicked. Same style. Let's dance. Well, the curtains are down and the credits have finally finished. Now you have the spiking rush of energy leaving your body. You feel so good. Maybe try to get a snack and think to yourself, what's next? What comes after the existential crisis and reality showing shit show? Well, you can take the red pill and move on with your life and achievements, or you can take the blue one and get stuck in the infinite loop of completing the game hundreds of times with every difficulty, every weapon, every move you can find, and yet you still wonder why the boss keep telling you about memes.